Is this episode 2?
Testing.
You know what we should do? We should have a little sign here that says your ad here.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are here with Wei Hang and Jay from the previous episode, and obviously we are filming on the same day, so please, we know it's the same clothes. So we talk a bit about a lot of video games, AI, kind of boy stuff. I think the last time, so we'll try to divert that a little bit away. But yeah, so welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for
a lot of
having
fun last
me.
time. So I think we wanted to talk. We were just talking about this now. What Gen Z stuff.
Gen Z,
right?
yeah.
So we are clearly not. What are we?
Millennials.
We're millennials. I don't even think we're on the young side of the millennials. I think we're on the
Middle.
upper spectrum.
Yeah,
I don't know what 35 is, okay, but what 35. Yeah. So you are technically a Gen Z, right? Both of you.
Technically not.
I think we're like Zillennials.
MZ. No, they call it MZ. They call it MZ.
MZs.
MZ. Millennial.
Yeah, stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how would you define a Gen Z? Like, how old are they?
If I'm correct, it's defined by how you grew up in relation to technology. So in general,
makes
people
sense.
define it as like 1997 to about 2010, like for birth year. Yeah. So I'm born 1996. You are 97.
I'm 97, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine starts at 8. No, but you know the interesting thing is that I remember a time before the internet.
Yeah. So to me, Gen Z, right, is when your IC number starts with T.
Is yours T?
No.
No,
So
still
when,
S.
when your T,
Yeah.
right, is confirm Gen Z.
What does T even stand for?
It's just the next
T
It's
is
just the
letter.
next
after
letter, yeah.
2000,
Yeah.
right? I think.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
They couldn't go back to 00S because some people were S0
Oh,
something.
they're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Okay, so how's it like being a very old Gen Z?
very old Gen Zs.
I don't know. Like, it's weird because I relate to both millennials and Gen Z. More to millennials actually. I think it's because when I was in uni, I dealt with mainly millennials, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, like I think TikTok hadn't really like blown up, or the culture of filming TikToks like at uni or at school hadn't really blown up yet. Yeah. So seemed pretty millennial.
For context, when I was in uni, we were using MSN Messenger.
Oh.
Really? No, what?
Yeah.
Not WhatsApp.
No, definitely not. I didn't even have a smartphone.
In uni,
I was in the US, I didn't have a smartphone. I was on a stinking like BlackBerry.
I think iPhones were coming into
They were
the picture
yeah,
already.
but there was not WhatsApp for sure.
No WhatsApp?
No, because I had to call my dad with Skype. I had to get credits on Skype to call my dad.
Credits on Skype.
Okay.
I remember those days.
Yeah,
Oh
it was not.
my.
It was definitely not a smartphone thing.
I'm pretty sure there was WhatsApp because I don't think we were using like text messaging so much.
There probably was, but it probably
Yeah.
existed as a company. But I wasn't like we weren't texting. or
I
anything.
think we were using WhatsApp in uni already.
Maybe,
It
okay,
was
the
free.
first 1 or 2 years in my
Yeah.
uni, definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I was using it was free.
Oh. Yes,
Then
yes.
after that,
yes.
they started
back
charging,
then was like
right?
$1, right? Back then
Yeah.
it was free. But it's kind of such a.
We were there when WhatsApp was created.
When,
We were there when the internet was created. What are you talking about?
when did smartphones start becoming a thing for us? I think like secondary.
Secondary 2, yeah.
Something
More
like that?
mainstream lah,
Sector.
right? Where like
Yeah.
iPhones were the norm. I think when I was in uni, iPhones were a thing, but they weren't the norm. Like it was like, oh, you have an iPhone. No, it's like
Yeah.
fuck, everyone has an iPhone.
Yeah.
You know.
The time was like iPhone, like early, like I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4.
It must
I
have
don't
been
know.
2009, 2010 around that time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Around that time.
2010. Yeah.
You know, so the thing is, I think for us, right, being stuck kind of in the middle of millennials and Gen Zs, we remember a time when the internet was not around, but obviously that was when we were very young.
Yeah.
But for you guys, right, you remember a time when the internet was not around very clearly,
Yeah.
and when the internet is around now,
Yeah,
like what do you miss or not miss about those days? Because you have a clear idea of the separation between. Sorry.
I remember being told to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Like you will go outside and play. Like you have friends at the playground, like at the house. And
Yeah,
like,
we
every
had
5
friends
PM,
outside.
5 p.m. you go to the swing
yeah,
and like
yeah,
you chill out with your friends and play. Man, I don't even think kids do that. it was. Yeah, it was such a strange time.
No, I like when last time, right, the roads like outside the neighborhood areas were not so busy. So you could go like walk around, it wasn't so dangerous for kids.
Yeah.
And then the playgrounds were like really big, and then there was like trees that you can climb. Now it's like
Oh yeah, we used to
there's
climb trees.
nothing.
Huh?
Yeah.
We used to climb trees. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so long ago.
I think I think you mentioned you have a herniated disc, right?
Yeah.
So I also have. So
Did you
so
fall off a tree?
when you say like tree climbing, yeah, I think I can really like I'm really fond that the memory is very fond, man, because it's something that both of us really
It's
cannot do anymore. Yeah.
It is so odd. Like I remember like the old like you know the stupid sound on the dial-up modem.
Oh, the modem, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one of the first things I was playing on my Sega Saturn was like Rayman Adventures or
Hey,
something.
remember last time there was the cartridge ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had to
They have to
key
blow
the
the thing.
website on the pamphlet. Man, it took forever to load. I was like, I'm done. I don't do this anymore. Wow, but that was crazy.
Then we were growing up in the era of like illegal music also.
Yes, Napster,
Yes.
LimeWire.
Oh my
You could
God.
download like I remember downloading a real Slim Shady, you know, all that
Yeah.
kind of like a skater boy. It was kind of
Yeah.
like really old like music of our age is showing. But wow, that was what a time to be alive, man. That was-
Did we experience that? I think I have a faint memory of me being very young and my mom picking up the phone. And then when she picked up the phone, my sister started screaming.
Oh,
Because I think like the internet
yeah,
cut off,
the
right?
internet will cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a faint memory of you telling me that when we were younger.
Winamp, do you remember Winamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
They can change the skins.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that was
That
like
was
so long
that
ago,
was
man.
quite- Winamp was
Winamp
cool.
still exists.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. I do
Yeah.
like Winamp. I do miss that. It's like a player. It's like a media player,
yeah.
lah. But it was quite customizable, quite cool.
Yeah.
And you
It
could
was
listen
quite
to your
fun.
music. It was quite fun.
Yeah, and then the noise the computer made lah.
Yeah. Now you play this. I think if you go on the streets, and you play this sound to some Gen Z person, it's like, what sound is this?
Yeah.
I give you $100. I don't know.
But you guys still had that kind of like stupid slow modem last time, right?
Have. I think when we were like
When you were young,
5 or 6,
Okay.
I think, something like that.
So I
Yeah.
think when we first started playing video games, right, they were video games that they're not online because the speed was just so slow. So it was a local co-op. We sit on the same chair, you know. with the
That's why we had
keyboard
land
and
shops
stuff.
all last time.
land shops.
Now they are a dying breed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you all were in school, did you like go to land shops after school kind of thing?
Oh
Or that was not your kind of thing?
My friends did lah, but I guai kia, so I never go lah.
Same.
My JC time, every day.
JC
after
times ah.
Every day
Wow.
after school, we will go there to closing.
Whoa.
We just play. I don't play Dota anymore. This was not Dota. This was Dota like 5.84 or something, right? And
Yeah.
the day before prelims, we were still there. Didn't fucking study. We
So
just
so
played.
were you there the days before Dota, like Counter-Strike and stuff like that?
Yeah. I suck at it, but you know, we still played it, you know.
Yeah.
But and then you eat the Maggie mee there, you know,
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. It's like, wow, that was crazy, man.
So come to think about it, it was quite cool. We were there when all this really started.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the kids here are now for the things like TikTok, Instagram, that's kind of started. That's kind of cool. But like back then, and it was a different beast, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit different because the birth of the internet is very different from like the birth of another platform, you know. Like-
It's quite interesting, like when we were growing up, like technology also grew up. So everything like changed so quickly. And then now it's just like slowly moving along.
Yeah, but it kind of makes you think, right? Before the internet, what was the major invention that really disrupted everyone's life?
Like computer, I
wheels?
guess.
No, I don't.
Before the
I don't know,
internet.
Wheels.
But I try to think like what other such a major worldwide cultural significance.
I guess a computer, but we wouldn't be using it lah.
I don't know. sia.
True lah, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Need to
but
ask our parents maybe.
yeah, I'm kind of the phone.
Maybe.
Mobile phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
The huge brick last time, remember that one?
Something, something
I
along those
don't even
lines,
think we had one. That
Should ask
one
my-
was
should ask my
before our
dad.
time.
Before.
It's like that when you call last time, I did not.
No. They had the buttons already.
Just that you need to pull,
Yeah.
pull the antenna out. Yeah.
But anyway, at least you guys experienced the landline, right? The real phone, right?
Yeah,
Nowadays, I
yeah,
don't think anybody
Yeah, my house
sees
has
the
no
phone.
landline also. Do you have a landline home?
I never use it.
Yeah, I don't have it plugged in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a certain charm to it, lah. You know, when you're using the thing and then like when you're angry, then you just slam down.
Wait, but do you know something? Last time, right, I could remember my friend's phone number. Then we were like, hey,
Yes.
we can. Then now I don't even know. I don't even know anybody's phone number.
I can remember my friend's phone
Yeah.
number from secondary school. I can still no, primary school I can still remember. You ask me now, I can still give you.
Wow, okay.
But because you called them so often last time.
Yeah, that was the only way you can like contact your friends,
Yeah.
right?
And now I
Yeah.
date some girl, I was like, I told you I don't even fucking remember your number. I'm sorry. Like I never had to dial it. I never have to dial it. You know, it's just saved.
Yeah.
Don't dial it. Well, yeah, last time I can still. My friend long time ago, I said I still remember. She said, "You still remember my number?" I was like, I typed it out straight for her. She's like, "What the fuck?" That was crazy. And the thing I miss about old phones, you know those old Nokia phones, is you can absolutely not look and type because in class you were doing this, right? But with the I cannot do it.
So do you guys have the like BlackBerry that time when it was
We-
like the rage?
I think I had a Sony Ericsson.
Okay.
Exact
Engage.
same.
Engage. The
I don't
Nokia.
know. But it was orange one.
Yeah. The one that looked like a Game Boy. The Engage.
Game
It was
Boy,
like this.
Oh, that was the very weird one. I don't know
Yeah,
who
yeah,
had
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
I
didn't
know my
know.
friends had.
I also, I think at least for mine it was quite small lah. It's black, but there's an orange highlight, and then there's also a keypad. So I do remember keypad days.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand the being able to type and
Wow,
not-
now I cannot, man. With iPhone, I try to drive and key in the thing.
Yeah. I get it.
No tactile sensation. That's the only thing I miss about older phones.
So would the Gen Zs have actually experienced that kind of phone before? Or not really?
I doubt it lah. No way lah.
Yeah, because if they were born in 2010s, right, then
I think depending on how
2000s.
nice their parents were, lor. I mean, I got my phone at like Sec 1, I think. Because I started to
Oh,
travel on my
but
own.
now the norm is like, I have my cousins and friends, right? Their kids are in primary school and they need a phone.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So
I
know
don't
if it's a
think
good or
it.
bad thing.
I think it's kind of fair lah. To be honest, like if I would want my kid to have a phone, like
Yeah.
you're freaking lost. I need to call you. Like
Yeah.
this, it's not a luxury at this. I think it's fast becoming a non-luxury lah.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so much benefits of it existing. I can track where my kid is. You know, not for privacy, but like if he's coming home on a school bus or whatever, I know. You know.
Or if you miss his stop and got lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like why would you take any of their risks? Oh, I don't have the phone. No, just lock the fucking phone and lock all the things lah. Just have the basic functions. It's also okay. What?
And I think also like socialization for them now, like it's mostly online.
I don't know if the okay.
I don't know.
There
your-
are.
Do
Yeah,
your 5 or
Gen Z.
6 year olds?
But okay, so there's face-to-face socialization, which is very different from. So it's like, I think if you already have the equipped skills in real life, then you take it online. That's fine. But I think to form that online is damn difficult.
Also, very interestingly, I have a friend who's a teacher. I think he's teaching in a primary school or secondary school. I can't remember. But anyway, he says the kids nowadays cannot write.
Cannot write. I
They
see.
cannot write with their hand.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they can type everything perfectly well, right? So when they write,
Man.
they take a long time, and usually he says it's like illegible.
Oh okay.
But here's the thing. Though.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time I wrote something. I mean, as a dentist, you probably write prescriptions, right? You
No,
use
no,
a
it's all on
pen.
the computer.
Yeah, exactly. So like, is it a bygone skill now? Is calligraphy now just an art form and not a way we live life? Because when the last time I actually picked up a pen and wrote something of meaningful significance?
Meaningful say just yeah. I mean just.
But I
just
guess as a
writing
kid, you need to
something.
learn how to write, correct? Because it's the only place that you actually write. Once you grow up, you wouldn't write anymore.
Yeah, so
You
yeah,
can't
but
not
then
learn
why
how
do I
to
need to
write.
write?
But you can't not learn how to write,
I
correct?
can learn to write. Okay, but okay, is the essence? Okay, here's a
Yeah.
question, right? Is the essence of learning how to write expressing yourself or the physical writing?
I mean, you still need to fill in paper forms.
For now,
yeah.
maybe in 10 years.
We're not 10 years later yet.
Yeah, lah, I know, but
Yeah.
but my point is if it's gonna be moot like how it is now, what's the point in teaching it to them now? It's like last time a teacher said, "Oh, you better learn math. You know, next time you don't have a calculator everywhere you carry." Well, sorry, bitch. Like we do. So like, what's the point? You know,
That
like,
one teacher watching this going like, damn.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna bring my abacus around. But I have a phone.
Wait,
you
wait,
know?
and face it, we're not engineers. What are we gonna what are we calculating?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
It's
still
like the
do,
most we just split the bill, right? That's all, right?
You just
What else we do?
Yeah, and I have the phone. Like
Yeah.
I don't need log for that, you know. So it's the same thing, right? It's kind of handwriting going there. Of course, it's a good skill to always have. You know, not denying that, but like I just question the true importance of penmanship now.
Not the penmanship. I think you just need to know how to write and write,
Yeah.
write
I remember growing up,
legibly.
they were very anal about penmanship. Remember? People always say, "Oh, your handwriting is so bad. You know, you better go for penmanship lessons." Like, the
No, I don't think you need to write in a fancy way. Just like
they
as
taught
long
us
as
cursive writing.
someone
Remember?
can
You had
understand.
to write the thing in the
So what do you guys learn? Do you guys learn like how to write funny stuff?
What did we learn?
Like learn
The same, probably the same as your. Yeah, they
Like, learn in
complain
school,
about
yeah.
handwriting also. Then they.
I mean, it's a kind of interesting, like kind of, because if you don't teach kids writing today, right, and then they grow up, you have this whole generation of people who develop their own style of writing if they need to write. So they standardize a lot of things, right? A is obviously like that. But if you don't have that reference point, your A you can start from the tail and then or whatever, and then everybody will have their own set of.
But it's okay as long as they write and it looks like an A. If it looks like something else, then that's a problem.
Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Yeah.
It's a duck.
Sorry, you were saying what? You were.
No, it's just. I mean, it's an interesting question lah. Like, is writing becoming obsolete? Because in the past, definitely not. What to be literate, you need to write. Yeah.
All our examinations are written, right? A levels, O levels,
Yeah.
you still got to write, right? So yeah, of course you need to be legible. As things move away from there, I don't know if that's still going to be the case. It's probably still important for kids now, right? When they do examinations.
Oh, I hated exams. I tell you, who
Who
the
likes
writing
exams,
was crazy. So that is one thing I hope if they can change, they should change. If you can use a computer, right, for
Yeah.
exams, I think that'll be better.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was an art
only-
student some more. So A levels was lit geog econ.
Yeah.
How much writing I had to
And then
do.
the worst, last time they could have 2 of the same exams in the same day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then it's like, wow.
Paper 1, paper 2, lit paper is like 6 hours of writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lah, but I don't think it's going away anytime soon lah. I
No
mean,
lah.
because the rest of the world, you probably still need to know how to write lah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but for exams, maybe don't write so much.
Yeah. Just go to a computer lab that has like no internet connection or whatever and write your damn essay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only convenient for the students taking the exam, but it will also eliminate a lot of like legibility errors, right? Like if your handwriting is bad or what, then the examiner cannot figure out what you're writing, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's also much easier for the teachers because they can actually just like do it more quickly
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
rather than like spending half the time figuring out what
You
the thing
immediately
is.
spot grammar mistakes because it just pops everything out for you.
Yeah. So also very interestingly, my friend was commenting that the kids now are using ChatGPT to write essays for them. So yeah, it's damn obvious.
ChatGPT is crazy. I've seen some of the stuff it's put out. I'm like, what?
No, but it has its style. It's that you will know when it's a ChatGPT thing. It's always in that
But
way.
for professional stuff, right, you're already expected to write a certain way.
yeah.
So, that's fine, right? But if you want to write more creatively or present arguments and stuff, okay, maybe not as good. But if you just say, hey, write me a letter of resignation,
Yeah.
perfect job, So I think it has its thing. Yeah, ChatGPT is the next level search bar. I think people are using it that way as well.
Oh, talking about that. So, the thing about ChatGPT as a search bar, at least for now, I'm not sure in future iterations how it will be, but for now, I think it's really, really good for surface level inquiries. So when you go to inquiries that you need some level of expertise, it becomes a bit, I want to say dangerous lah. It becomes a bit weird in a sense where even if ChatGPT does not have the correct answer, it will still present whatever it has as though it was the correct answer.
Yeah, some are wrong answers. Especially for medical stuff, if you go and try and use ChatGPT, it's very dangerous because
Yeah.
some of the things are actually false. So I think a lot of doctors have made videos on this kind of thing. You can go and watch. Yeah, it's maybe like 90% of the stuff is true. Then there will be this 10% that is like glaringly wrong, but you wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah. And those that 10%, right, usually is, I mean, the devil is in the details, right? So
Yeah.
that 10% is the one that really like
Yeah.
can, I don't know, it becomes medical field,
That's why.
like, yeah.
Especially if you consider the information being uploaded, right? Because when data is being recorded, it's presented in a certain way to fit whatever hypothesis one. So however it's phrased, is however it's going to be read, and it may
Yeah,
not
yeah.
include the disclaimers or the
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
involved, right? So I think that's a bit dangerous.
And it doesn't tell you like this fact that they're presenting, like what is the I don't know, the confidence of it,
Yeah.
whether being true or not. I mean they should try and say something like that.
I think it's useful maybe as a like all right, let's see what it has to say, and if anything really pops out, right? Because I know of some instances where they had uploaded certain things about certain condition and like really weird side effects, and then doctors like, huh, and then turns out it did help. So
Yeah.
I think there is some, if they can refine that process a bit more to make sure they know what's being uploaded, then okay, I guess. But not something I would be very happy to see my doctor use when I'm at the GP. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't know if kids should be allowed to use it. Let me think. Like,
No, I think
for
kids should be
homework.
taught on how to use it.
It's a tool, remember? It's the
Not
same thing
not
as
whether
homework.
or not they should be allowed, but they should be taught when and how to use it properly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for me, education was always like not all the education you receive in school will be relevant in your working life. But the most valuable thing that I got out of it is like I realized my mind thinks faster. In fact, now that I'm out of uni, right, and I stopped doing math, wow, my mind like slowed down a lot. Like it's a very noticeable difference. So
It's also called being old.
I think so, you know. Wow. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is that a valuable skill that like kids should have?
I think
maybe?
math,
Like,
as is taught in the schools, is not relevant to most professions out there because it's taught to this level where you will never use this kind of things.
Relative
yeah,
velocity.
Yeah.
I understand it as a concept, but okay,
It's
But
like
like
JC
to-
math is totally useless unless you're an engineer
F
or
math.
something.
Yeah.
I didn't take it, but from what I hear,
That one is like,
But
Okay.
like to think fast, lah, you know.
yeah.
I was trying to use math to calculate my BTO interest. Everything wrong.
There's a calculator for that. Don't
there'll
worry.
be some
exactly.
calculator somewhere online that
Okay,
you can
so
use.
here's my kind of answer to that. So I think, right, just because we're using ChatGPT doesn't mean we are not using our brain. It is what questions you ask ChatGPT. So if let's say the essay to the child is to write, I don't know, why the fall of the British Empire, for example, right, that kind of thing, and you will write that and says that, and you say, what are some things that happened? It's like, hey, ChatGPT, tell me some of the significant events that happened, right? So you're sourcing for things to talk about, and then say, okay, because my argument is that it fell because of this reason, and I show these examples to show. So you're giving, it's just an expedition tool. You're just making it quicker. You're not making it easier.
It's like a fancy Google
Yeah,
search bar.
the act of
basically.
going to a library to find a book to find those examples is it's pretty much worthless to me because no one goes to the library to find information like that anymore unless you have a very specific thing you're researching on. So why would I need to do that? So the thing to teach them is what questions to ask. That should jog their brain enough to be, okay, I think it's a way, I can do it a way. You know. So it's a tool at the end of the day. If you just type, hey, type me an essay for blank, of course that's not right. But there are certain ways you can use the tool to make your life easier, and I think that's just what you would use in the future, and that's what makes sense.
I think it's interesting because we brought up the idea of these differing skill sets, and more importantly, like skill sets that are fit for its time. So, for example, back in the day, yes, like writing is fit for its time, but the skill set that you brought up today that is fit for its time, I would say, is asking good questions. Because I mean, even the kind of the big overarching enemies or villains that we face nowadays are like things like climate change, things that don't have a straightforward answer. And that is where I think like asking good questions can be really beneficial in general. Yeah.
So I think the purpose of going to school is basically to learn how to learn. So if you don't go there and you learn how to learn and you go there and learn rubbish, then that's bad.
What you can learn from math is probably like, how did I arrive at the logical conclusion that this was the correct formula to use to answer this question?
Yeah.
That is what you probably take away from math, as opposed to, I need this formula to solve this question.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm using this formula because XYZ. I think that's more important. That's what it trains our brain to do, your logical brain to do. So I think it definitely have its benefits. Is it the best way to train your brain that way? I don't know. We have not tried anything else.
But I think ChatGPT should not be used for students to write essays because I mean you still need to know how to write the essay. You need to know the proper grammar and everything.
It
So
should
you
just
need
be
to
like
do
a
it.
dictionary, you know?
Yeah.
That you have. It's just another tool. It shouldn't be there for you to write your whole damn essay.
Yeah.
lah.
Or maybe they should have a limited form for like educational purposes.
Yeah.
No, but the kids they will just use it.
They will know.
That's true. Also.
But I'm sure then of course the teachers have to be caught up with the time to be able to spot these
But
things.
it's very
and have
obvious.
to-
They know it's super obvious.
Yeah. So
Because your student is like always writing like this, suddenly it's like a totally different style you would know.
Yeah.
I mean, side tangent. I think between like nursing and teaching, these are like unsung hero jobs, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
the amount of crap you have to deal with from parents, from kids. Whew, when you definitely don't get paid enough to do it.
Yeah, so now a teacher is not just a teacher. The teacher is now the babysitter.
Yeah.
And they're expected to respond to the WhatsApp
That,
from the
that
parents.
blows my
Wow,
mind.
that is like,
I would totally refuse to do that, man.
no, you can't refuse now. It's like, it's school policy, you have to do it.
Crazy.
When
I
the parents
didn't know it
expect
was a policy thing.
Yeah.
No, now it's almost become effectively like a policy.
Oh.
Oh, that's
So
terrible.
if like you don't
Crazy.
respond right, then the parents will like call up the school and say, hey, why is the teacher not responding kind of thing.
That's crazy.
So nowadays the parents are more kiasu than the teachers. You know, last time like you don't do your homework, the teacher will call your parents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now it's like the parents will ask the teacher, today got homework or not? Or, you know, that kind of things. So
From what I hear, it's gotten a lot worse. Helicopter parenting and like
yeah.
mental health issues in general in like
The
the
kids
younger
or the parents.
Oh,
The
I
kids
don't
probably
know,
pass it on to the parents. No, the
Yeah, I
parents
don't
pass it
know,
on to the kids, let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I think kids in general are growing up a lot faster than in the past.
Yeah.
I remember I was on a bus, and then I think they look like lower primary children, and then they were talking about games, and then in the next sentence they said something like, yeah, but you don't even need to go to a good university to get a job or something like that. And they were like primary school kids, lower primary kids. So I'm like, okay, the reality is hitting kids.
They were probably parroting
Very
some of the
fast.
things maybe their parents were saying, or
Maybe
in defiance of
maybe.
what their parents
Yeah.
were saying, you know.
And all the young people nowadays all want to be content creators. It's like they think it's just like I don't go to school, never mind, I can become a YouTuber. It's like, you think very easy, is it?
I think it's still good to have a. If you are watching and you're thinking about it, I think it's good to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you succeed, hey man, good for you. Happy for you. But for every Logan Paul or Kai Cenat you see, you know how many bodies are beneath them?
Yeah, and making videos is not so simple like just taking your phone out and making a video. You need to think about what kind of video you're gonna make. See, you after so many years of like going to school and stuff, you can't even think of what you're gonna make tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's like what,
But that's the me
yeah.
problem lah.
No, but for most, I also don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a YouTuber, you need to continue making things tomorrow, the day after, every day. So it's not so simple after all, you know.
Yeah, I would say the biggest like kind of challenge. Okay, I would say a good chunk or majority of the population do have the capacity to become successful content creators. The part where it is very difficult is because we have this limited resource called time. You cannot possibly explore every single idea that you have. And so what do you pick and choose to prioritize what to explore? That becomes the tricky part. And it's not easy lah in that sense. And once you choose something, then how do you present it? So presenting of information is another skill set that you need to have. And then of course the technical skill set, editing, blah, 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 then that comes in as well.
I will say though, if kids get into all this at this age, they're gonna turn out to be pretty useful people in society if they put all these skills. If they start learning all these skills now, I think it's a
agree,
pretty.
yeah.
I'll be quite tickled that it's gonna be good.
Just wants to hire a new editor.
No.
Yeah, no, if you're 8 years old and
If you're 8
are
years
okay
old.
with child labor laws. No, but I mean that's not to say any young people out there like don't do it. I mean by all means do it, but like at least go to school lah. I mean stay in school.
Just
Stay in
know
school,
that
kids.
it's not so simple. It's like very glamorous and everybody wants to be some
Yeah.
influencer, right? But yeah, you need to work hard also.
Yeah, you never know what happens.
Yeah.
You have to work hard some way, somehow. Whether
Yeah.
it's school or not, you're gonna have to work your ass off. Unless you're really rich, then okay, whatever. But
If you're really rich, then why are you even watching this? Why even do
because they're
anything?
bored, man. They're bored, man. Nothing to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Okay, going back to the whole kids and mental health thing. Right? Let's talk about. I don't know about. Okay, let's hear what you guys think. I'll save my thoughts for later. Like, in general, like, okay, I heard you're getting a video, girlfriend. Like, are you looking forward to like starting a family, or are you like part of the dink army, which is like dual income, no kids?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's I think the default for my social circle. I don't know about people my age, but I think generally the sensing I get is that
So in your social circle, roughly how old are the people?
like
Like in what age range?
maybe like 23 to 30.
Okay.
Okay,
So like a few years up and down.
okay,
Yeah. So I think the default is that people don't want kids anymore.
Yeah.
okay.
Like only if you're a family person or like your dream is to have children and like a house with a dog and a cat and children.
A white picket fence.
Yeah. Then like
I wouldn't
you'll
mind
work
their
towards
lifestyle
that.
just without the kids.
That is not the family lifestyle.
yeah.
I have my dogs and my cats and my lawn and my white picket fence, right? Just don't need the kids, what?
You already have that. It's fine.
Yeah.
You have that. It's fine.
Yeah, but the reasons that I hear people say it, like the
reasons
reasons
why
that
they
give
want
me
or
are
don't
very
want?
interesting.
They
Why they
want,
don't want
okay.
kids. Like I think some people say that, oh, I mean there's the global warming talk, which
Okay.
is that, oh, consumerism,
Okay.
overconsumption.
Okay, they need to get off their high horse.
Yeah,
but okay,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So there's that. I think the more common one is like to have kids, you need to sacrifice all the other aspects of your life.
Fair.
So like time, money, attention, like sometimes the profession you want to do, that kind of thing. Yeah, and just to have kids. Yeah.
But our parents would say we're being very selfish. Because we want to do things for ourselves.
You know, this is always my answer to
Yeah.
them. Look, man, who am I being selfish to? And how can I be selfish to an unborn child that doesn't exist? They are not babies on a shelf in whatever
They're not waiting
idea
for you,
of
yeah.
heaven that
Yeah,
you believe
yeah.
to be like, hey, you know, if you don't have a baby, this baby's gonna stay in this box forever. Like, come on, like, who am I being selfish to? It's like if the baby is born and I did that, okay, right?
No, then
Different
you're
story.
just no.
You're just a
that's-
dick.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not the truth, what? That's not.
I think it's just copium lah. I think honestly, right, I'm not saying that parents regret having children.
Oh, you'll
okay?
be surprised.
But I'm
Parents
just-
will not say.
They won't say.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Of course.
But I feel that like there's definitely a part of them that, you know, on some days when their baby has diarrhea all over and then they're thinking like, oh,
Grass is
why-
greener, like-
Yeah, like if I didn't have a baby,
Yeah.
like what could I have been doing now?
I definitely have some friends who are going through a rough time, you know, we're talking, and he's like, you know what? Love my kids, love my wife. If I could turn back time though,
Some of your parents may say that also.
yeah. I had a friend who asked the mom, was like, hey, you know, if she didn't ask, but she was more of a passing comment. She's like, yeah, I mean, like, why you ask me if I had kids? Like, you know, if you could turn back time, would you want to have 3 of us? And the mom just cried. And like, that's the answer right there, right? Like, she didn't even have to say anything.
No, I think there's a lot of like, I think there's a lot of mixed emotions, probably that what your mom was feeling, because yes, definitely, you know, there are some aspects where having children is very, very difficult. But at the same time, I'm sure there's also a lot of other things that she didn't expect in a very positive
of
way.
course, yeah.
So like, it's like, wow, just, you know, it probably just overwhelmed
Yeah,
her
okay, by
at
the way,
that moment. Yeah.
we may seem like we're not against kids. I'm just saying, if you have it, if you love them, great, man, more power to you.
No,
But
we're just
we're just yeah, just
discussing
have-
about what people feel nowadays.
yeah. Don't want to make it sound like
Yeah. We're not telling you to have kids or do not have kids.
Yeah. That being said, I think
Yeah.
majority of you probably shouldn't, because I think a lot of people don't think it through. They really don't think it. So okay, added to another reason of that, right, is that I like taking care of things. I have a lot of fish, a lot of birds and stuff, right? But the thing is that I, as a single child, have been afforded a pretty comfortable life by my parents. I would want similar, if not more, for whatever spawn I bring to Earth, right? That means either me or my wife together have to have a pretty good bank account size to give that to the kid. And I think that's difficult. Because if I had a kid, it's like a pet. You're responsible for it till it dies. It's not gonna you don't expect your dog to take care of you, right? Why would you expect this creature to take care of you? We don't live in like ancient China where we need kids to till the farms anymore. We don't. That's why they had kids. We don't need that, right? And if you're having kids to take care of you, I mean, you probably should not have kids. You know, that's how I feel. So that is the thing that I don't know if I can afford it, the luxury lifestyle that I want for the kid, and therefore
I mean, not
won't.
even a luxury lifestyle. These days in Singapore, a normal lifestyle is
It's very expensive. already.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I want even more for whatever child I would have, and I don't think I can afford it. That's
Yeah,
just-
so going back to affordability, right? Both of you just started working after uni, right? So how difficult is it to afford things nowadays? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like you have excess money to throw away, or it's a struggle already?
I think for me now it's still okay. I think the scary part comes in when you start to consider housing, or like I don't know if some people even still buy cars nowadays, but that's not really in my plan. Yeah. So when the recurring costs start coming in, then
Okay.
like
Okay.
you feel the pressure.
So both of you went to uni, right?
yeah.
If our parents went to uni in their day and age, right, they will be able to buy a car, maybe a second car, buy a nice house. So nowadays, like graduating out of uni is like difficult also, right?
Yeah. I can't imagine living in the US actually. Like to come out of uni with loans.
Yeah.
Wow, that just sounds.
I mean, people here also do come out with loans, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they pay their local fee, we pay our local fee. In that sense, the difference is not that much. The difference is that their tax is astronomical. It's
Okay,
50%,
makes sense, yeah.
which is, yeah, it's ridiculous. The
But in
amount of
some
money they
ways,
pay.
it's cheaper to live there. In some ways, not in all ways.
yeah.
In some ways, Depends on your hobbies also.
Housing is much cheaper. Cars are much cheaper. Cars is a necessity there, I think,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I think it's cheaper to live in the US if you don't you don't care about a lot of things. Like for example, if you don't care about nutrition, you just get the basic like, whatever garbage they can put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of like, I mean, just transport alone definitely costs like way more than Singapore.
Transport's a bit different there.
But
It's
okay, my friend bought a car
not
for
exactly
$300
the same.
Okay, that's true.
over in the US. So,
But
it's not
then
really much.
there is no alternative. So
Yeah, there's no
it's
alternative. So
it's
you
not
must
you
get a
can't
car.
really compare like
But
that.
for them, getting a car is it's not a 6-digit endeavor. Getting a house for them is also not a 6-digit endeavor generally. But the issue is because I don't think the wage may be enough because of all their taxes and stuff and having to pay for stuff. Right? They don't really get to quote unquote start their life proper until their 30s, having paid off all that stuff, plus their current expenses, their rent, their fuel, all that stuff. So they can't pay their debt off quickly, and then they only can start life like a bit later. I think that part is quite rough, definitely. Very
But somehow they manage to have kids comfortably. I don't know how, but a lot of them still do.
comfortably is a strong word, I guess.
Life
but
finds a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the ones we hear about from
Yeah.
here at least are comfortable.
Yeah.
But if you're there, I think it's quite different.
Yeah.
Because I did some like social work when I was there, like teaching kids and stuff. Wow, the living situations they are in, is really damn thorough. It's not 1 or 2, it's like half, 3/4 of the school.
Yeah.
That kind.
Where do you go? Which
I
part?
went to Berkeley, so like in that area, there's generally some like richer parts, and then there are definitely the more poorer neighborhoods lah.
Would you say the divide is very like clean,
Oh, no, it's quite
mixed?
it's a bit mixed. Yeah.
I would say you should save up money and go there and have a look for yourself. You
Some parts
might
are-
be quite shocked
Some parts.
that US has become like this.
Yeah, you go look at SF.
Yeah.
SF, all toy scrapers, everything, homeless
Shocking.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's been way more serious than when I was there, as my friends are telling me.
Yeah. I mean, every time I travel the world, I always feel like I'm very privileged to live in Singapore.
Yeah.
Hey, but we pay a lot for this privilege.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
it's not something we've gotten for free.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
True,
You talking
true,
about money?
true.
Oh.
Yes, money.
Okay. To be fair, right? Okay, let's
Yeah.
compare lah. So I was talking to my friend the other day. We pay probably about 20% income tax, right? And let's look at that and compare to what we get. Good, great public transport, all that kind of stuff. We have that stuff, right? You compare to the US, you pay 50% in tax. What the fuck do you get? You don't get medical. Medical is entirely privatized. Your public transport is shit, therefore you need a car. And there are so many other things, right, that is trash in comparison to what you pay.
True. But America is not the pinnacle of a
No,
good
correct.
society.
But
what?
even if you look at, let's look at on the flip side, 50% in Europe, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they think they are, but it's definitely
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But you pay 50% in Europe as well.
Yeah,
you
but,
do get a lot
But
more
Europe,
things.
we get a lot of things.
Yes, you get a lot of
You
things.
even
So-
get a pension in some
Yeah.
places.
So that is done right,
Yeah.
right? They pay way more than us. But I
Yeah.
think in a sort of ratio value, I still think, we are, for what we pay, we get okay.
Yeah, of course we get okay, but we're not affordable
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm not patriotic, okay? I'm not going to go there. I'm not patriotic by any stretch of the imagination, but
Yeah.
you have to call a spade a spade.
I mean, it depends what kind of lifestyle you want, right? If you want to have the New York City's lifestyle, right, I think you live in Singapore is much better. Where you don't have a car, you live in an apartment, right? It's nicer, safer, and cleaner here.
Yeah.
Probably cheaper.
But you're used to staying in like
Yeah.
California where you drive in huge
Yeah.
areas, forget it lah.
Yeah.
Go to I don't know, go where, go Vietnam or what.
I think one thing that I never really appreciated when I was a kid, but I appreciate a lot more now, is the lack of natural disasters. So like now, I think there's like wildfires in Hawaii now, is it?
Yeah, Maui will burn.
Maui? Yeah.
Even California.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wildfires
it's
there.
like, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
But in Singapore, we don't feel it.
No typhoon.
Yeah.
I think we got aftershocks once or twice, but it's not even us. We're just protected by a lot of things. Rain, we just complain about rain.
The
but
worst
it's
thing we
fine.
get is flooding that is like self-inflicted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
monsoon.
So
That's definitely it's like I feel so safe here. Okay, here's another thing that's gonna sound a bit dickish to the rest of us. It's like we are the white men of this country.
Okay.
We have the Chinese privilege here.
Okay.
I never want to be a second-class citizen. Because when I was in the US, I was just walking along the road and people just yell racist shit at me. And
Okay.
they're like, okay. And they're just, granted, maybe it's not the worst of these experiences, but it's like, oh, it kind of sucks.
But I don't
You
think
know?
in Singapore there's this big divide between like second class and normal. It's like
No,
pretty
it's not
okay,
second
yeah.
class and all, but it is just the
The
privilege
of
is not like,
being
you know, you're making a lot of money or
majority.
whatever it is,
Is
you know.
it?
Like the
Yeah.
greatest analogy I have is that you're in a classroom, all the students have the same task of tossing a ball of paper into the garbage can. But there are some kids that are in the front row and there are some kids at the back.
Yeah.
But the task is the same, you know. And that's the kind of thing where I think people misunderstand what privilege is sometimes. It's like, I'm not saying that you're earning more money, I'm just saying that just because of the color of your skin, certain things are just a given or easier for you. Then that's it, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I
It's
just
definitely way worse there than here. I don't think it's so
100%.
bad here.
No, it's definitely way worse there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still, you know, we are the majority race in this country, and that's just kind of luxury you enjoy that comes with it. I'm sure some of our, you know, Malay Indian friends, they do feel certain slights or certain racist remarks that people make, even if it's in love or jest, right? It's still sometimes a bit hurtful, lah. It can be, right? So, but that's not really done to us. We never feel it because we're the majority. So I think there's definitely a bit of that. And having experienced it on the flip side, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay right here.
I think so what was the worst thing that you experienced there with regards to that?
I mean, it was okay for me lah, cause I'm still, you know, not too small. But I know some of my like smaller Singaporean friends got robbed, I got kind of pushed around and like beat up and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it was mostly like racial slurs. Yeah.
Wait, so they got robbed because they are tourists or
They
because
look like easy targets lah. They're students lah. Because every student on campus has a smartphone and a laptop.
oh okay.
If you're Asian, you're probably very rich.
And you're probably not very big. So
Yeah.
they will get
Yeah.
targeted pretty easily. Yeah. So for me, it wasn't that bad. Mostly it was like, you know, racist things to your face. Kind of, not even like, you know, me kind of like laughing at my Indian best friend kind of thing. You know, it's like, hey, rude Chinese word, go back to your country or
It's a
something.
rude
and,
Chinese word.
like, I don't know, like chink or gook or like whatever lah. You know, really some like it's not. On a day-to-day, I wouldn't find it bad, but when the way they say it, like venom.
Yeah, at
like,
least you didn't get
whoa.
shot, man.
True, yeah.
Yeah, at least you didn't get shot.
We left, and it wasn't there during the Trump era, all the anti-Asian stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely safe to be here. Even compared to Malaysia, it's like you couldn't force me to go to Malaysia. I couldn't drive there. There's no way.
And anyway, back to kids. So your friends don't want kids. How about you and your friends?
Generally the same sentiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite interesting.
We're doomed. Rising, no, declining birth rate.
Yeah.
I mean it's so I think a lot of people like the idea of having kids, but not actually, you know, when they come out and then they just like the idea of it. Oh, very cute. Then next time, yeah, like you were saying, like next time got people take care of me, you won't feel so lonely. They like the idea of it lah, which is, you know.
But the
something
reality
that-
is, right, you probably need to take care of your kid, right? Even after they graduate,
yeah,
if you have a kid now.
100%.
yeah.
My
So,
poor father,
yeah.
for example. Yeah.
No, that's for our time. Imagine you have a kid now. Then when your kid grows up, that's like what, 20 years later?
But to be honest, if I care, I will be okay there because like you're my fault. You're my fault.
True. Yeah,
I'm
but
responsible
you
for
cannot
it.
expect them to take care of you because
Yeah.
in all, I don't know, likelihood, you're going to take care of them.
Can you imagine how expensive things for them must be in the future?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, better I already have the house for them ready, yeah. You know?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of there are much more barriers now to having children. I think
Absolutely.
first of all is the psychological one, right? Previously, people in the past, they after uni they don't like what's the next natural step? Oh, okay, okay. So it's not something that they take very seriously. That's the first one. Second one is again the cost of living. Third one, yeah, whatever, global climate change, disaster. But there's also this element of, you know, this awareness of just now we spoke about mental health. So I think a lot more people are more aware of, you know, when you have a kid, you're really developing a person, and it's very easy. I think I think we are so much more aware of how easy it is to fuck someone up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
So we don't want to impart that. We kind of this deliberation is much more. It makes us much more hesitant to take that step to have
I would
kids.
agree. Yeah. I think I'm a super habitual thinker, so I think it's the same. I do have depression, right? Some say it's hereditary, and then you're also thinking that your attentions aside, you could give birth to Gandhi or Hitler. Those are the opposites, right? You have no bearing on it.
The ultimate nightmare.
If you have given birth to
Yeah,
Gandhi or Hitler, I think you have done well in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it can fall anywhere in between.
Yeah.
And you literally have no bearing on any of that. Even you raise them well or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure when they sent Hitler to art school, they didn't think he was going to be a genocidal maniac. You know what I mean? So like, how can you control what happens and whether it's a positive force for the world or not? And then I think life is miserable, and I have a child. What makes me think that he's not going to be or she's not going to be miserable too? You know what I mean? It's a very bleak outlook on life,
Yeah.
but you can't deny that it's a possibility. And if there's a possibility of inflicting suffering on my child, why would I have it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the balance for parenting just seems to be so delicate that not everybody can get it. Like, even if you
Yeah.
try to control your child, then now you have helicopter parents, where like the child's
Oh, so
the
now
child
right,
suffering. Yeah.
you cannot scold your child. So that's what all my friends tell me.
Really?
You cannot scold
They
your
don't
child. You
scold their
cannot
kids,
beat your child. You have to talk to them, make them understand.
Okay, lah, maybe not.
When your
beat
child is
lah.
3, how do you do that?
Very hard to reason lah. I think
Yeah.
until they can reason, it's very difficult.
Correct, right? So the parenting style nowadays is to must talk nicely all the time. And then it's like,
I mean, I guess we'll see kind
Yeah.
of the
results of
the
it.
results of
Yeah.
it.
We'll see in
sooner or
10 years.
later.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Are they brats?
I don't think our parents did bad jobs. So, I mean, if you follow what they did, I don't think it will be a bad thing.
Yeah.
But somehow
Yeah,
people
yeah.
seem to think it is.
I mean, for me, I think we did get caned quite a lot. Oh, we're cousins,
Oh.
by the way. I think
Oh,
we didn't
shit.
say. Yeah, we did get caned quite a lot when we were young. But I don't think the caning, like, left or like broke me or anything.
Yeah, it didn't give you like mental
yeah,
issues.
Yeah.
My dad only. I only remember my dad slapped me once because I said fuck really loud while we were fishing. And I think he was shocked. He went bam! I was like, whoa! And like, but it wasn't like a trauma. It was just like, oh, I remember that. You know, but it was always the threat of being whacked that was way scarier than actually
Yeah,
being
yeah,
whacked. You know, like it was just a.
No, it's-
hey, you know, I'm gonna whack
It's
you.
like maybe it's like when you're training your dog, right? If like you don't want a dog to do something, you're not gonna like inflict pain, right? You just want to shock the dog and
You just tap him on the butt
make
or
it remember
something.
that it's not supposed to do that. So I guess that is what the punishment is. You're not intentionally like causing pain to your kid.
I think it's because my parents made it a point that every time they cane me, I have to understand like why it's happening. So they will tell me like when I hold my hand out, right, then she will be like, so why am I caning you?
Oh, that's kind of
And then I have to say like, oh, because I did this.
I'm a dipshit.
Yeah. Then she'll like, then
To be fair, if she did it for no reason, it's child abuse.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think you bring up a very good point because, okay, both of you bring up a very good point because you talk about like the reason behind why you get caned, right? I think definitely parents, when they punish their kids, right, it doesn't matter like caning or otherwise, they always have a reason behind it. But the difference comes when whether or not they communicate that reason sufficiently enough across to the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you cane a kid, you have your reasons, but you don't communicate it, right? Then it might seem like abuse because out of nowhere
Yeah, if the child
suddenly,
doesn't understand, then obviously it's wrong. lah to
But
do it.
okay, so I will play devil's advocate here, right? So if you say that the key is communication, then why is the beating necessary? Because if the kid is at a logical point, has a logical enough brain to be able to comprehend why they did something bad, why therefore is it different from, hey, go stand in the corner as opposed to me beating your ass? Of course, it's the threat of pain, right? But then yeah, it's kind of abuse, right? It's threat of pain. So there's their argument to be made. If they can be reasoned with, why therefore is the beating necessary?
So I think this boils down to that delicate kind of balance that he was talking about just now. Like when you talk about logical reasoning, you know, at what age should we switch from just kind of purely disciplinary actions because they don't understand, to kind of explaining it to them. And like it's hard also because there's no real cut off, right? Because you're living it day to day. You don't like see it suddenly, hey, oh, I should, you don't wake up and suddenly say, I should start reasoning my kid now. And it can be kind of a slow burn, and then it's like,
I guess you could try lah. It's one of the things you have to see, you know, if they can slowly start understanding. I do think people don't give kids enough credit. Kids are pretty smart lah, I think.
yeah.
So it's all of this also, right? That makes me not want to have kids. So I don't even want to deal with this.
Yeah, I know what you mean,
Yeah.
yeah. The overthinking and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
And then the possibility of having to deal with this, right, is like, I just rather not deal with it.
Yeah, can I get it?
I mean, to deal with repercussions that might not even be your own fault, right?
Yeah.
Because again, like you were saying, you can either give birth to Gandhi or Hitler, and like you really have no control over that, right? Like, why would you want to?
Yeah, imagine how
Yeah.
Amos E's parents must feel. You know, it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do to this? You know, maybe I don't know. Maybe they did some nasty shit to him. I don't know, but still, it's like, oh.
More like he's doing nasty shit to them. lah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe he can come around and say, oh, they abused me or young. I mean, we don't know lah. Behind closed doors, we don't know. I'm not gonna postulate, but that's kind of the scary thing to me. I do think that, yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good dad. I do kind of want kids, but at the same time, it's like all these buts and ifs. You're like, I don't know, man.
But I guess we are now more aware about all these things. Our parents were like, just have kids.
Yeah.
And it worked out for them, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we are overthinking, but at the same time, I think it's probably people who end up not wanting kids who ironically might make good parents because they thought about it more and they're like, you know what, I don't think I can give the best life, so maybe not.
So you think Gen Zs will have even less kids because they are even more aware of these things?
Probably, man.
I think so. I think everyone is trying to break like generational trauma.
Yeah.
Cause I think in the past, I don't know. Do your parents think about this, like generational trauma and like
Kids lah.
Surely lah.
how?
Surely. I see some of my aunties and some of the kind of like complexes that they have. I was like, you know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But it's Asian, right? They won't talk about it.
Yeah.
They won't talk about
Yeah.
it. They'll take it to your deathbed.
So that's the
Yeah.
tricky part. So like when you ask the question, do your parents talk about it or whatever? The thing is, if you don't talk about it, we won't know. Yeah, but I believe they do lah. I mean, you know, when you've gone through shit in life, right? At a certain point, you will start to explore about these kind of things. But I think what we are gonna see, I don't know if it's true, but I think what we're gonna see is that maybe Gen Z, right? They have even lesser kids because they're aware of all these things. But we'll probably hit an inflection point where like, oh, everybody, you know, they broke that kind of generational trauma, and then they really learn how to develop good, healthy relationships by reflex. And that is when we'll see like maybe people having more kids.
Maybe.
I think it's also that the benefit of having kids is not really understood until you actually have the kid.
True.
Yeah,
And then
that's
like
true.
you understand like the profound nature of like carrying on the species. I don't know.
But there's also like a primal like, oh, I need to take
Yeah,
care of this
yeah.
being, you know, like it's something you can't reason with until
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see it, you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's part of me, you know, like there's
Yeah.
definitely that to that lah, of course,
Or
which we are
like-
not really taking into account, but
I think a lot of parents, because I've been talking about this a lot, because I've been thinking about whether I want kids, right? So a lot of parents tell me that there's like this like unexplainable joy of having kids. But of course, when you don't have kids, then you don't experience
I
that.
also have
you
joy.
can't relate.
I also have joy, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it more joy or less
wait.
joy?
So there was also this unexplainable joy I had that day when I bought this light.
Same. I buy new fish. Joy. You know? So I have a lot of friends who's like, you know what, it's worth it lah, it's worth it. That's like, bro, you telling me or you convincing me?
So
Or you're
will
convincing
you
yourself.
feel the joy? That's not guaranteed also. So there is also that if.
Yeah.
So they might have the joy, but what if you don't get the joy? Then it's not something you can just throw away, you know?
And exactly, to your point, like, no backseas.
Yeah.
No backseas.
I think it's also like there's also the possibility of, you know, let's say your kid has some like, you know, really serious medical condition or something, and it might not be something that you sign up for, but you cannot just, you know,
Yeah.
dismiss it and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Which
guess
is
you
really
can-
just sad, like just
I mean,
like
it's just sad,
a
I mean,
sad
you-
situation all
Yeah,
around.
that's terrible. Like, so like it's also you need. That's why I say I won't even try to have a kid unless I'm like ridiculously rich. Where no problem, we can take care of it
That's
monetarily.
true.
I know, but if you think about that, I mean, we can like die anytime also. So
Yeah lah.
you never know. We can get cancer like tomorrow. We also don't know.
True lah.
That's true. That's true.
But you're literally giving birth to a creature that is here to suffer. And then like I'm like, oh, just the thought of that scares me so much. You know.
Okay, so basically, right, there's no kind of one correct way to view this cost benefit analysis lah. Having kids is just
I don't think it's a cost benefit analysis. It's
different
just a cost.
lifestyle. You know, just a different lifestyle, lor, you know.
Yeah.
Like if it
Yeah.
for some reason if it floats your boat to kind of throw everything away and take care of.
No, but like what I said, it's just a cost, and you shouldn't think of it as a benefit because you should be
Yeah,
giving to the
that's
child.
true.
You should not be expecting the child to give to you. You know.
You are
Yeah,
intangible
yeah,
benefits.
yeah.
Intangible happiness.
No, but you should be thinking about I want to have a child. I need to provide for the child. I'm happy providing for the child, not what the child can give back to me. You know.
Yeah,
Then you shouldn't be having the child.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that noble lah. for sure.
So
I
to
can't
all the parents out there, it's like, you know, we know it's difficult. We're not here to kind of rain on your parade or anything. Like, I think you're doing a great thing if you can give your kid a good life. Just, you know, these are just some of the thoughts that, you know, being echoed between the millennial and kind of Gen Z, I guess. Yeah, but millennial kind of.
I guess we're at
mindset,
the age where we either will decide where we should have kids or not have kids.
Yeah. I can't imagine having to carry my kid when I'm 40. There's no shot my back holds up. You know what I mean? So like I gotta decide pretty soon. Yeah, I need a girlfriend for that, but you know, not gonna happen. So
Okay, so I think maybe for the next episode we can talk about your girlfriend.
lack thereof, I think. You
Like thereof.
this is my girlfriend now. So it's a lack thereof.
Okay.
Maybe we can talk about maybe millennial and Gen Z like dating things.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting.
Okay, let's do it next.
Okay. So thank you everybody.
Yep.
Thanks for your time. Their socials will be down. Wei Hang and Jay. And you are the Modern.Midlifers. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. If you are parents and you're upset at what we said or we echoed some of the sentiments that you have, let us know. Or let us know our folly, and we will
Convince us to have kids.
Yes.
tough luck. But
Then
you
I'll
know,
try to
give it a
convince
shot.
my girlfriend.
But yeah, okay. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.